I'm Reverend Natalie Jean, and we're back with you with the Emma Curtis Hopkins movement. So today, what I wanted to talk about is obviously being spiritual, but more or less accepting the gifts that God has given you. And it's not necessarily talking about you being an architect, a singer, a dancer, or anything like that, but more or less the things that He has brought into your life. Now, these things have come into your life because of your belief in yourself, your worthiness, and your belief in God. Now, I wanted to talk about, let's say, if somebody had a house. Let's say God gives you a house. Let's say you work so hard to get the abundance to pay for this house. And when you get this house, you're rejoiced by this idea of this house. You got it. You worked hard for it. You're just overjoyed. God has given you the tools to get it. Let's say later in life, you go through some error and illusion. There are some things that have changed in your life that this house may no longer be in your possession. But what that is the error. It's an illusion. That is what it's all about. It's an illusion. Somehow the principles are not working anymore, or you've chosen not to look at the principles anymore. Could be 3 or 4 years where you haven't even paid the bill on the house. But in regards to God, there is no time. There is no time. You could have not paid for the house for 10 years, 500 years, whatever. Now, if truly in your heart you didn't want this house, truly, truly, truly in your heart you didn't want this house, then you would give it over to God and say, thank you, God, for this gift. It was plenty at the time, but now I'm in another place and I deserve another house. That is a different scenario. But if it's because you're tired of trying to fight for the thing that God has given you, you're exhausted, that you rather believe in the illusion and errors that come about in your life, then that is a totally different story. For me, that is an aspect of giving up the gift that God has given you. It is an aspect of giving up your worthiness, to know that all things that have been added upon you have been a gift from God. It is the fruits of your labor. God believes in you. It doesn't have to be a house, it could be a car. God gave me a wonderful, beautiful car. And recently there's been some error and illusions on the car, and I said, no, my car is perfect. Yeah, I work on my car. My car is perfect, whole, perfect, and complete. My God says my car is perfection, and that is what I'm going to have, perfection. And my car and I, we drive along, we ride along, we're happy together because I believe in the car and the car believes in me, so to speak. This is how we need to begin to work with our principles. What I have found in meeting different people is that, when error and illusion seem to go or come into our lives, we seem to give them a voice. We start to talk about them. We empower them. We strengthen them, and then they become greater and bigger. And then all the principles become smaller and smaller, and we forget who we are as spiritual beings. We forget who we are as children of God. God is the only power acting in our lives is a statement, is an affirmation that we must use on a daily basis. When something tries to confront you, something tries to tell you that there is no God, you stand firm and you say, God is the only power acting in my life. Therefore, you do not exist. Nothing that is not good is not part of God and cannot be a part of you. You should be reaping the rewards of life, the kingdom, because God said that everything around us, we inherit the kingdom. We inherit the beauty of the kingdom. We inherit the richness of the kingdom. We inherit all good things of the kingdom because that is what God has bestowed upon us. But in order to see these things, we've got to open our eyes. We've got to love. You cannot be in a position where you're hating one group because this, that, and the other, and then thinking you're going to reap the rewards. Now it comes to light, I like to talk about that Westboro church that believes that anytime somebody dies and they've been associated with some kind of homosexuality, I don't know, whatever, that they think, oh, yes, it's great that these people died. But the Westboro church, they're going to reap what they sow because they do not embody love. They embody hate, and yet they won't label them as a hate group. But what somebody did in retaliation to them is that they had some kind of satanic gay cult on their premises because these people were tired of the hate, tired of these people wanting to go to funerals and march in front of the funerals and disrespect God's children. I'm here to say that you cannot be in spirituality if you hate anybody. You just can't be. It's not part of God. God hates no one. God forgives everyone. Even people like Zimmerman, Paula Deen. These are all children of God. All children of God. No one knows what's in their heart except for God, really, truly. They have all made mistakes and they should be forgiven. And it is not up to us to judge them and to belittle them and to all these things. God is the final answer. And they will reap what they sow. And we will go about our lives rejoicing in God and thanking God for the fact that we have woken up the next day. We will still have love in our hearts. But at the same time, we will continue to stand firm to our truth. I'm taking a wonderful prosperity course with Reverend Shauna Marie and 7 others. And it has been interesting, and it has been a wonderful learning experience, and I implore you, should go to her site, Healing Truth Center, because she's going to have another session of it after August, and it's just amazing. Things will open up for you. Ideas will flourish for you. You will have moments where you will stand your ground and what you believe is true for yourself. You will understand what prosperity is. You will understand that we all should be abundant in this world. And the only reason that we're not abundant is because we don't see it for ourselves or we don't think we're worthy enough. But what I take away is that God is wonderful and that no one can take away what God has promised me. No one can take away the beautiful gifts that God has given me. He's given me life. He's given me a job. He's given me song. I'm able to sing. I'm able to dance. I'm able to bring the truth to other people and watch them pursue their goals and their dreams. Those gifts will never be taken away from me because those are my destiny. And one of the things in the prosperity course, we had somebody come on and talk about this book she has written about, doing budgets to get to a place where you need to be. And that is her God-given gift, to give those that need that, to learn about budgets and all. Somebody out there needs that. It is a beautiful thing to see people relish in what they do and to just win at the things that they do is such a beautiful thing. I was talking to somebody yesterday about what his passion was, and he honestly could tell me he had no passion, no nothing. Nothing moved him. Like, he has a job, he has a family, he has kids and stuff like that, and he loves his kids, he loves his family, but he said he truly, honestly never had a passion. And for me, I found that odd. I said, so there's nothing that you're like, oh my gosh, this is so great? He said, no. At first he said his wife, and I know his wife very well, she's a very good friend of mine. And I said, well, you know what I mean, something that just gives you great joy, and you just want to jump up and down and say, thank you, God, this is so wonderful. I said, no, he lives life. And I come to realize that by him living life as his family, that's his passion. He doesn't know it, but that's his passion. Nothing can be taken away from us that we do not allow. My God will never be taken away from me, ever. There are people that I'm surrounded by sometimes that don't believe in the things that I believe in. Sometimes they say something, doesn't bother me. I know what my God has done for me. I know where my God is at all times. He resides within me. He comforts me. He works with me, as me, in me, all the time. He pushes me to move forward. He holds my hand if I dare to cry. He comforts me. He knows me. And for that reason, I will never give up anything that He has given me, and I will work hard to embody who He is at every moment. Realize that nothing can be taken away from you. You are a child of God. God is the only power acting in your life. Namaste.